hi, Enrica. Thank you for
Hi.
being here today and answering my questions. So the first
Thank
one
you.
would be, what was your experience with the book, with writing this chapter?
Oh, that's a very good question. It was a new experience because it gave me the possibility of talking about my own experience, which I had, of course, I had narrated in different occasions with people, but bits and pieces, and this was the first time I had to put it on paper, write it down. And as usual, when you write something, there is a thinking process behind, which is important, and also a kind of dialogue with yourself, which is something that I really appreciated during the writing process.
That's very interesting. So do you think we should dialogue with ourselves more than we do as researchers?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's something I've been thinking for a while, um, but I don't think we do it. We dialogue with others. We dialogue with authors that we read. We maybe silently in our mind. We dialogue with colleagues during the development process. We dialogue with students, but we don't dialogue very much with ourselves. And I don't know if it have ever happened to you when you read an article that you had written years before, that you haven't written for a while. It's like a new voice, because you're a different self. Meanwhile, you're a different researcher than the one you were 5, 6, 7 years before. And so it to me is fascinating, because it's like thinking and reflecting on your journey, and maybe changing something, or saying, oh, look, I used to say that, and now I would say it differently, or now I know other things, now I have another perspective. So it's interesting. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So what interest do you think it has for the readers?
Probably it helps them, it facilitates the process of putting themselves in your shoes, or in any case, generally putting themselves in other people's shoes. So an empathic process, that again is something which is not very common in academic writing and in scholarly literature. It's a lack of empathy that we see and we suffer, because it's very formulaic. It's kind of very cold, the way you are obliged to write, and so the articles you read usually. So when you have the opportunity to break this cold shield, let's say, and put or receive or share some more empathy, then it's something enriching. It's something that you.
Sharing, empathy, those are beautiful words to talk about that book. If you had to share it with someone, with whom would you like to share it? With colleagues, students, friends, family,
um I
policymakers?
already did, actually, my chapter. I am curious. I'm kind of eager to read the others, because I think it's a collection that is interesting, because everybody was asked to do something similar. I mean, they were very free in the way authors could contribute. No, I shared the parts of it, and it did me so well. Like, I shared a part of this experience in a plenary talk that I gave a couple of years ago, when we were still at the beginning of the writing process, and it was a ha moment for me, and for several people in the audience who came then later, after the plenary, to talk to me. So definitely with the community, and with the students in the class, especially because one of the assignments I've always asked, I mean, for years now, the students to do is very similar to what I wrote or I had to write. So it's interesting to share. I think that if you ask the students to talk about themselves in an open way and deeply, then you need to be ready to do the same, because otherwise it's there's a strange relationship. So of course this is something I would share with them, and the family, the family, of course, because it's part of the journey. At least some of them have been part. It's a pity that my parents are no longer alive, because I would have loved to share this with them. Yeah.
You shared a picture of yourself with us. Can you describe the picture?
Yeah, it's a picture when I was around 4 years of age, and it's in my hometown, where there is a big fountain, which always fascinated me and all the other kids. And it's a little park that we went to, which we went to play, where we played regularly. And yes, I shared that picture because there is this kind of thinking attitude, this child who's not smiling, not too serious. It's just thinking, as if they could anticipate, something coming, or just enjoying life. So I thought it was. I was a very calm kid. I'm no longer like that, but I was very calm, thoughtful.
Enrica, if there is one message that you would like to pass on to the readers, what would it be?
Don't give up. Like, don't be scared of people who try and impose on you their own limited view of what is learning languages, or what is your linguistic journey and repertoire and your biography. It has no limits. So don't be. You will meet a lot of people with very monolingual visions and very, very closed-minded ideas, but don't give up. It's like, let them talk and continue, because we are, as I wrote in an article, we are natural plurilingual. Only we need sometimes to discover that, and we were born with endless possibilities when it comes to languages and cultures. So it's a natural phenomenon. The monolingualism is not natural.
Thank you, Enrica. This was very powerful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.